Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hindoke with Rev Yutaka Yamada on this Saturday, the 23rd of August 2025, or the 1st of July in the 13th year of Chongalguk. So thank you all for coming, and Betty should stop drawing. All right. Let's begin with a bow. I don't think Mitty realizes that she's drawing on the screen. Anyway, let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Champunim Ge Chombe. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 2. 전일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 전주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love.
Thank you. I want to offer the same opening prayer, except unfortunately just one moment. There we go. I can only get rid of it when I stop sharing, reshare. But anyway, please join me for True Mother's prayer that she gave at the Blessing Festival in Johannesburg. Most notable and precious Heavenly Parent, until this day came about, you have looked for and waited for your lost sons and daughters in tremendous sadness and pain over a period of 6,000 years. Your ideal for the creation began centered on a man and a woman who fulfill their responsibility. Hence, you could not abandon fallen humankind. You conducted the providence of salvation and sent many prophets and righteous people to educate humankind. 2,000 years ago, you finally were able to send Jesus Christ, the Messiah, who could realize your dream. And yet the people's ignorance resulted in them not accepting your will. As a result, Jesus ultimately went the way of the cross. He promised to return and conduct the marriage supper of the Lamb. This is because your providence can come to completion only through the emergence of the true parents as the first human ancestors to complete your ideal of creation. Since you are all-knowing and almighty, you created human beings to be eternal. Fallen people have longed for your only begotten son and only begotten daughter to be born, whom you can call your son and daughter, and have offered devotions enduring war, conflict, suppression, and indescribable pain to see the day they can meet you, Heavenly Parent. Africa in particular has been a continent of much pain for you, with its history of tremendous oppression, violation of human rights, and extreme suffering, and as the last continent in the Atlantic civilization realm. Hence, to complete your providence, you established the True Parents in 1960, and ever since you have raised your children through the blessing that enables fallen people to become your children. In Africa, in particular, the hope of many prophets, kings, and chiefs of many nations has been to usher in the day peace reigns with everyone attending you, Heavenly Parent. Representatives from the 54 nations of Africa have gathered here today to register as your children and will be reborn as blessed couples. Heavenly Parent, how long have you endured and waited? How much have you wanted to love and bless such a day? Your long cherished desire can now be realized through the blessed families here today. Please enable them to remember that when they fulfill their responsibilities as blessed families and as tribal messiahs, Africa no longer will be a miserable continent, but will become a continent that attends you and receives your blessings. Heavenly Parent, today you are here with us at this blessing. Just as today's weather expresses the tears you shed and the pain you endured throughout history, today also marks the birth of your children, whom you can joyfully accept. I pray that you may accept every child in joy. This is an occasion upon which all blessed families pledge to become your devoted sons and daughters who will never make you lonely. Please joyfully accept them. I pray and proclaim all this in True Parent's name. Arju. Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares today. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning Hondoke. Today's the heavenly calendar, July 1st. So there is the 7일절 and 7, 8절. So let's celebrate well and to offer the sincere heart to our heavenly parent and true parents. Last night we had the Chanshimon prayer as well every day. And there was new announcement. Have you attended last night church prayer? So I will show some one memo. Already memo was sent yesterday. So I believe already you know someone. I'll read this one. The memo, the explanation part. May the blessings and love of our Heavenly Parent and true parents always be with you. Following the victorious entrance into the Chanongun Chanyu Sanctum and the proclamation of a new age, the beginning of a new history, we hereby announce organizational restructuring and personnel changes as we prepare for the victory of Vision 2027 as follows. First, organizational restructuring. A. The mission of Chonmuwon has been concluded and this institution is hereby dissolved. B. The organization will now be restructured into a system composed of the World Mission Headquarters, the Central Administrative Council, and the Human Resource Development Institute. And personal changes. So Reverend Do Seung-yeon was appointed as the Director General World Mission Headquarters, and Mr. Kim Eun-sang was appointed as the Chair Central Administrative Council, and Mr. To Hyun-sop was appointed Chair Human Resource Development Institute. So as we know, there was Chonmuwon, but this mission was concluded, and this was dissolved from last week, August 15, and three new system was announced. So World Mission Headquarters and Central Administrative Council and also Human Resource Development Institute. So yesterday's during the Chonshimon prayer time, the new Director General, Reverend Du Seung-yeon, gave the inaugural some kind of greeting message yesterday, and tomorrow we will have the inauguration ceremony in Champion. So those announcement was there. So you can see he is the new Director General of World Mission Headquarters. So he gave yesterday. So maybe I shortly share his message. So he said after victory of entrance ceremony of Cheonwon and Cheonyu Sanctum, this new history was begun, and August 15, Chulmada proclaimed the conclusion of the Cheonwon Providence and proclaimed the new era and new history. So now is the time for all children to unite together and to offer the victory in front of the parent. Until now, parents prepared all foundation and children just follow to the parents. But from now on, children will stand and to create the new era in front of parent and to open the way for children to stand by own self. That's why the World Mission Headquarters and the Central Administrative Council and also the future the three departments were announced newly, and we will expand the Heavenly Parent substance, and also we will protect True Mother who are here as the substance of Heavenly Parent, and we will the one who will take initiative of the providence. So Mother mentioned that we need a person who can create true family centering on true love. So all blessed family, our brothers and sisters, have to unite with a peaceful or harmonious heart, and we have to offer the Chonsong continuously. So instead of just a strong charismatic leadership, now the harmony or unity among the member and brothers and sisters are required. So Mother is opening the new announcement and new era. So we should support each other, and we should become the person who can bring the happiness and also joyfulness in this place. So when we unite together with True Mother and your sincere devotion, this become the power to open the new era. That's why True Mother is always appreciating for all of your sincere devotion and also heart. So what is our mother's hope, and what is the way we can return the happiness, appreciation to True Mother? This is the things to become the blessed family who will fulfill the responsibility. So he himself also mentioned, really appreciate for all of your heart and investment. So Trumada proclaimed the new era and new beginning. That's why let's unite well. Let's offer the Hyojon's heart to True Mother. So this is just summary. But last night, this new Director General, Reverend Du Seung-yeon, gave the new message. So do you know who he is? Actually, he is our Yeonmin's father-in-law. Do you know the things? So anyway, he became the new director. So let's pray and support this new providence centering on our True Mother. Surely we have to offer the victory. So many changing happened, and I think one by one new announcement was coming. So if there is some update, I will continuously update you all, brothers and sisters. So each time there is special meaning. Let's also unite well. Okay. And next, our missionary, 신칠 신임 missionaries visitation was almost confirmed. And this afternoon, we will meet the main leader of this headquarter and we will finalize the date. But almost the date will be confirmed. They will come to Oceania from September, I think September 9 to September 18. So this will be almost confirmed. So this afternoon, we will have some special meeting and to finalize the schedule. So if confirmed, then I will inform again to our brothers and sisters. So please pray and support well. Okay, thank you. So I'll share the photo. So last night we met our Solomon members. So our national leader, Reverend Norman also there, and the two Solomon second gen are there. And there are another Oceania or Asia Pacific group, but I could not meet all of them yet. So this afternoon we will have a Asia Pacific participant meeting with President Hori. So if I can get the photo, I'll share also. Okay. So I will share the photo. This is from Sydney side. Thank you, our Sydney brothers and sisters, to offer your Chonsong last night. Those sincere devotion is very precious and also appreciate all the time. And Marshall Island, thank you for your Chonsong. And Solomon Island in Solomon. Chonshimon prayer in Solomon Island. Thank you for your devotion yesterday. So Johnson is the things to move the heaven. So let's continuously offer that. Okay, so thank you very much. Today let's start to share the word of Cheonsongyeon, the preparation for the spirit world. So let's start. Mrs. Kathy, please.
We must clear away our sins. The Unification Church says that the providence of salvation is the providence of restoration. But is there any way we can avoid that path? We cannot avoid it. We carry the burden of the fate of the fall on our shoulders. How big is that burden? It is as big as the world and the universe. Therefore, as you live your everyday life, you should think, after all, I will die one day. When you were born, you did not think, I will be born. But you were born anyway, even when it comes to dying, whether you think about it or not, whether you want to die or not. If you try to die, you may not die, but if you try not to die, you may still die.
Yes, thank you. So the providence of salvation is the providence of restoration. So there is the indemnity from ancestor and there is burden to descendants, so to ourselves. We cannot avoid these things. And what kind of destiny should we go? And also what is our future? Even we wish or not, the moment of death, this moment will be coming into everyone. So when we see this part, even any kind of person, the direction to go to die, this direction is same. That's why we cannot ignore the moment of die, moment of going to the spiritual world. Please.
It is not something you can do as you please. That time will inevitably come, the final fateful moment. That cannot be changed. Therefore, if you have anything to indemnify, you need to do it before you die. This is the challenge. Because the fall happened on earth, it must be cleared up on earth. This issue needs to be restored on earth before we go to the spirit world. It will be impossible once we go to the spirit world.
Yes, thank you. So there is a things we can do and there is a things we cannot do. All people without exception will will be going to die. So the things we cannot do anything. Then under this kind of circumstances, what kind of things should we do during our life on this earth? This is the issue. This is the homework for ourselves to fulfill during our earthly time before going to the spiritual world. Please.
If God's purpose is our complete salvation, he should be able to cut off our rotten parts. Only then could he be a great God. What kind of God do you wish for? Do you wish for a God who would pat you on the back and say, "Poor body, born into this sinful world, you have suffered so much to remain here this long. You have done well"? Or do you wish for a God who would deal with your body without pity? Which God would you prefer? In his heart, God wants to do away with our fallen bodies all at once. The body is an antennae through which we can communicate with the fallen world. Original sin entered the human world through the body. When you hear this, you may have been offended. However, those who feel offended must atone for their sins. When the work of atonement takes place on earth, unity will be achieved automatically. Therefore, unity is not such a difficult thing. All that needs to be done is to chastise the body.
Yes, thank you. So Father is talking about sin. So where is this sin which are coming from ancestor and are coming from our human ancestors fall? We were born on this earth. Some are here as the first gen, some are here as the second generation. But still, there is fallen nature, and there is also flow of the fall inside of ourselves. And where is those fallen nature or sin in our place? Father is mentioning this is in our body. That's why we have to clarify, we have to clean up all things with hitting our body and to liberate this is sin and separate this is sin. So if we don't listen those true parents' word directly, then we don't feel and we don't accept those things seriously. But through listening the true parents' word, we have to think and accept deeply and sincerely, and also find or realize the heart of our heavenly parent, and we should effort to overcome everything. So how strong the desire of the physical body, but in the same time there is also the heaven's wish to us to overcome those fallen temptation and the strong desire and to come back in front of heavenly parent. So with understanding, with realizing the heart or wish of a heavenly parent, we have to go forward the path of this life. Please.
Everything will be completely revealed in the spirit world. The bad things are revealed first. Only after you have cleared all that up can you enter heaven in the spirit world. Otherwise, you cannot enter. Even if your eyes are closed, such things will be revealed and punishment required. Consequently, until you have cleared up all the bad things, you must continue to be educated. You need to be trained. You need to undergo intense training.
Thank you. Father said, everything will be completely revealed in the spirit world. The bad things are revealed first. Only after you have cleared all that up can you enter heaven in the spirit world. Otherwise, you cannot enter. So we have to engrave this word to our heart. This is the principle in the spiritual world. So if we go to the spiritual world, this kind of things will be happened to ourselves. Then how should we do? Or what kind of things should we do? During earthly lifetime, we have to effort and we have to solve these things. And our true parents open the way for each of us. So if we really know this truth, this principle, and this theory, then no matter what kind of situation, we have to hold our true parents and we have to go forward in order to become God's son and daughters and our heavenly parent, filial son and filial daughters. And the removing our fallen nature or removing our sin or solve the problem, this is not only for ourselves. If parents see the children who are suffering, then can parent be happy or not? So if we solve the problem and we become the happy person or happy children, then finally our parent also can be liberated and our parents can be happy. That's why liberation of ourselves is also the liberation of our God and heavenly parent. So we should understand this point together. Please.
To triumph over your body, you must completely uproot and overcome Satan. You can go to the kingdom of heaven only after you have overcome Satan. You cannot defeat Satan after casting off your physical body. Since the physical fall occurred on earth, you must correct it on earth, while you still have your physical body. If you fail to fulfill all that you need to do while on earth, you will go to hell for all eternity. Thus, when you triumph on earth and stand in the position of goodness on heaven's side, you will go to the kingdom of heaven for all eternity.
Thank you. To triumph over your body, you must completely uproot and overcome Satan. You can go to the kingdom of heaven only after you have overcome Satan. So we should understand the existence of Satan. Can you see Satan? Or can you hear the temptation or voice of Satan or not? Please listen the voice from your heart or mind. How many voices can you hear? One voice or two voices? If you can hear one voice from your mind, then whose voice is that? If you are the perfect person or if you are the true person already and you can hear only one voice, then maybe that voice is from God's side or that is God's voice. But if you are not yet becoming the true person and you can hear only one voice, then what do you think? Whose voice is this? Maybe Satan's voice. So we have to distinguish how many voices can you hear. We have to find two voices. One voice is from God's side, one voice from Satan's side, and we have to follow God's voice, original mind voice, and our heavenly parent voice, and we have to follow and live accordingly. So those things is the things which we should fulfill during our lifetime on this earth. Please.
The twisted, sinful result brought about when our human ancestors failed to become true parents, the twisted sin committed through the failure to form a true people, a true nation, and a true world, still remains before God and humanity. Who can take responsibility for this sin? People who have gone to the spirit world cannot resolve the sins they committed on earth. Therefore, Unless someone on earth takes responsibility, the people in the spirit world cannot be liberated.
Yes, thank you. This is the sad history. This is the history which was begun from human fall. There was God big hope and expectation, but it was not fulfilled. And our human history became the history of sin. So, Father said, who can take responsibility for this sin? Of course, true parents go through this course and to take responsibility, but of course, in the same time, we ourselves have to take responsibility and have to fulfill our responsibility. Please.
All people living on earth must clear up the sins they have committed before they can go to the heavenly kingdom. Then who on earth, as a representative history, can clear up the sin that corrupted everything? This must be done by some person, some religion or organization. But the religions and people living on this earth today do not know about this mission. Since only the Unification Church knows about this, we who know should take responsibility.
Yes, so exactly this is to parents and also Father said, since only the Unification Church knows about this, we who know should take responsibility. So this is the final slide today, please.
The history of sin should be cleared up, starting with ourselves. If you stand in a position that brings a minus to history, you will end up in hell. But if you stand in a position that brings a plus to history, you will end up in heaven. When you compare the standards of this era to your own, if this era is greater than you will go to hell. But if you surpass this era, you will go to heaven. That is how it is. We who have merely followed the fortune of heaven and earth to this day should recover the day on which we can take control of the fortune of heaven and earth. God has continued to carry out his work for 6,000 long years, yearning for that one day. Throughout the 6,000-year course of the providence of restoration, God has wandered around in search of one hero who can shake off the historical grief that has followed the fortune of heaven and earth and take dominion over this fortune.
Thank you. So this is the important message. I will read the first part again. The history of sin should be cleared up, starting with ourselves. If you stand in a position that brings a minus to his history, you will end up in hell. But if you stand in a position that brings a plus to history, you will end up in heaven. When you compare the standards of this era to your own, if this era is greater than you will go to hell. But if you surpass this era, you will go to heaven. That is how it is. So we are living in current era, and we are the person who knew the principle. That's why we are the one who have to open the way. When we see our position in our history, what is our position now? We are bringing a plus or we are bringing minus. We are the one who God has wish and God are loving each of us. So we are also should become that kind of person who will stand behalf of God, Heavenly Parent, and also we should become filial son, filial daughter of our Heavenly Parent. So today we share also the word of the spiritual world. How important are we and how important to fulfill our responsibility. Always our Heavenly Parent have a many expectation, hope to each of us, even our ancestor, or even history was within, but through ourselves who are living together with true parents can restore everything and can open the new era and new ages. So yesterday, our new director's message and also new memo, Mada is emphasizing about a new era or beginning of the new moment. So let's totally unite with Heavenly Parents, true parents, and our mother, and offer the victory to our Heavenly Parent. So each day, really appreciate for your chanson even until midnight, and also joining the morning Hundakkei. Let's continuously offer the chanson and create the great moment. So once again, thank you for joining today's morning Hundakkei. Have a great time. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you very much, Rev Yutaka, for sharing with us and updating us. With all the changes that are happening, and it's really, the changes and this message sort of fit together, with that statement. We who know should take responsibility, and so we should know, what is happening within our own movement, what is happening, within our own community, and how we are changing ourselves so that we fulfill our responsibility successfully. Talking about sin, it started on earth, and it has to be removed on earth. We have to do it, and we do it, as we know, focusing on ourself first, removing it, the effect it has on our body. In other words, a substantial physical presence, and we need to know, be educated to remove that ignorance, because as we know, it's because of ignorance that the sin continues, because everyone, in our deepest heart only want to do what's good and right, but because of ignorance, because it is the fall, and we need to know. We need to know how to remove everything that's bad here on earth, and we know that it requires us to be triumphant, or victorious over our body on earth. And so it starts with us, and it goes to everyone else and everything else. But we really need to know clearly, how to, achieve victory on earth together. And so that's why, even without the fall, we meant to go the path of training, ourselves on earth, to become, that true son and daughter. But the sin has just complicated it so much more, and so we need to always have the correct understanding, and it's because of our true parents that we have this understanding, and it affects all of us, and that's why the changes are taking place. Still, we who have been with mother and father a long time, still missing the point. We still need education and clarification of the education so that we know what to do, and also actually do it, take that responsibility. So that was the main thing for me. We who know should take responsibility, and and we need correct education so that we can carry out the responsibility, without any mistake. So it's something that I was occurred to me during this message. So thank you, and let's open it up to anyone else who wants to make a comment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Jean-Yves.
So what comes to me, the most important thing from yesterday as well, last night, that most important point is really to do with compassion. And also the other one is harmony. So my motto is always peace, harmony, unity, and happiness. That's wherever I go, this is always my motto. So that doesn't mean that I succeed in it all the time. It means that that's a goal. And but compassion is a very powerful tool for that, because if you don't have compassion, you cannot identify somebody else's pain, somebody else's suffering. So that's a vehicle. It's not just the positions and obeying and so on. It's not really the way to get victories in terms of supporting to mother and the providence. Is to have a greater sense of compassion and understanding from God's viewpoint, from this heart, the parental heart, the also brotherly heart, and sisterly heart, a younger brother, older brother, and so on. So compassion to me is the way of resolving that, and it's not an easy one. It sounds kind of easy word, and but to practice that is very powerful. If you, as a goal, is brings us closer to I think to that unity and peace, harmony, and happiness, and so on. Yeah, that's just my simple takeaway this morning.
Thank you. Yes, Reverend Stone, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I thought the reading today was particularly focused on the importance of our physical life. You know, only on earth can we get rid of the history of sin, and that's our responsibility to clean it all up, and with our own ancestral sin, our own sin as well. So anyway, it was really a powerful message. Also interesting, last night with the Chanchimon prayer, there was one young sister from Moldova, and she was witnessed to by, you might remember maybe about several months ago, there was a young second gen from Moldova who had this kind of really curly hair, and she was had a real rebirth experience, and then she went back, and this young sister was one she witnessed to, and she was only 14 years old. So she was an atheist, and then she became someone who really loved Heavenly Parent and True Parent. So it was really great testimony about witnessing. And so that sister was already there. She was there as well. She's in Chongpeng right now. Anyway, the other thing was really a very, very powerful speech from Iggy Song at the end. Yeah, he's so strong and powerful and really mobilizing everyone in support of True Mother. And yeah, it was like he was talking about Father is speaking through him, and the other man was saying that Father is speaking through Iggy Song. True Father is speaking through Iggy Song. So anyway, I really felt that last night, that Father was really speaking through him. So it was very nice experience. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we still have time for anyone to share. Yes.
Yeah, I have just one question. I hear a lot about power, power, power. But what is actually power? Good question. The question I have for everyone here. What is power?
Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
I'm not sure if this will directly answer what Eve's is asking, requesting, but what did come to me was that Moldovan sister with the curly hair. We saw some time ago the intensity of her prayer was very, and that could be related to what Eve was saying, power. The intensity produced that amazing 14-year-old girl, with very pure heart, And I think even our own life of prayer, if it is intensely, sincerely doing what we need to do, then surely we'll find people that resonate with our intensity, who can follow true parents. It's just a thought, really, but I think what Eve was saying is intensity for me, intense sincerity through intense prayer. And then also, very importantly, many people can pray intensely. Sometimes I do, but action is really required. So I'm pretty sure that sister with the curly, sorry to call her the curly hair, but she must have gone out and really looked for people, and found that person, So I think heaven is watching us, and they will bring someone that we need for our own spiritual growth or for our mission, depending on our desire. And the other aspect also is, not following so much charismatic leadership. I don't know how that breaks down really, but it certainly means that we also have to be out there coming up with ideas and plans, because we have our unique perspective and talent, that needs to be exploited, for God's providence, So just a few points to talk about this morning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Yeah. Yes, Kathy, go ahead.
With the two girls, the girl that spoke last night, she said, the girl with the curly hair, her spiritual mother, she got to know her, and it wasn't until about a month after knowing her that she actually started teaching her. So it's been forming a friendship first with a person, winning their confidence, and then gradually getting to know that person, and then gradually beginning to teach. Not just go straight out and teach straight away the first instant, but becoming friends first seemed to be what that girl was saying. And that became more intense, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Reverend Stone, yeah.
Sorry, Sim, others are speaking, but yeah, just about witnessing more. In our PCLC breakout yesterday, Jeff was explaining about how he's teaching about 6 ministers, Christian ministers. So he's built up that, as Kathy said, over certain time, trust and relationship. And now they're asking him, please explain, and they're just lapping it up, So anyway, so inspirational. I'd like to hear a bit more testimony from Jeff in the future about the way he's working within the Christian sphere. And here I'm actually in Parkes at the moment. It's about 5 hours from Sydney. Anyway, I went into I saw a Presbyterian church in town. No, it's a Methodist church. Beautiful old church, about 100 years old. And I just, most of the churches, their doors are closed during the week. If you want to go in and pray, you can't get in. So they only open up, on Sunday. But this one had an open door. I went in, and an old guy came up to me, and he said, "Oh, my name's Bill. well, how can I help you? And then he took me on a tour of the church, and he said, something like 15 years ago, their last minister, Methodist minister, was sent, and he said, I'm just here to prepare you to not have a minister. So he was the last one. And these people now, they're just continuing on. Most of them are very old. Just they conduct their own prayer groups and their own Bible studies. Anyway, I'm just thinking, look, there's so much opportunity. Christianity is going down. And anyway, I think Jeff, the way Jeff is working is really, really valuable. We can do that. We can go into churches and we can give them hope, and we can, but first of all, make friends and win their trust, like he's done. Yeah. Anyway, just it was a nice experience yesterday. Really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It is time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just bring up the screen. Yes. Okay. And let's pray together. Thank you. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day, and see you all again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everyone, have a good day.
Good day.